Welcome back to Football Daily, everybody, where today, you guessed it, we're talking about the England squad. Okay, literally 1 minute ago, Gareth Southgate just officially announced the England squad that he's taking to Qatar, the 26 elite men that are bringing that trophy home. Probably not, but you never know. So today I'm going to be having a little look at the 26, giving my opinion on the selections, whether I think he's made the right calls, whether I think he's made the wrong calls. Let's jump straight in. Got the graphic in front of me here. Goalkeepers, Pickford, Pope, Ramsdale. And I think to start with, these are absolutely the correct decisions. You know, there was an outside shot potentially for Dean Henderson, but I do think these are the three best goalkeepers in England. Jordan Pickford has to start for me. I think he's having an exceptional season, as he does nearly every year for Everton. He's always exceptional for England. Third in the table for post-shot expected goals. Nick Pope as well, sat behind probably one of the best defences in the league right now at Newcastle. You know, it's got the best defensive record. And then Ramsdale offers something different, doesn't he? Very, very good with his feet. Great distributor. Slightly rash at times, but I think these are definitely the three best goalkeepers in England. Let's go to the fullback positions now then. Kyle Walker has made the squad. This is a miraculous recovery. He had groin surgery on October the 6th. He had groin surgery a month ago and he's managed to get on the plane for Qatar. I mean, what sort of rehab he's been up to, God knows. But even if he is 75% fit, at least he's played minutes this season. I probably would have risked it as well. He's so vital to how we want to defend, particularly if we're playing in the back three. His recovery pace is just freakish. Amazing defensively. Again, despite the fact he is carrying an injury, he's played more minutes and it's not quite as long-term as Reece James is. I probably would have risked it too. Trent Alexander-Arnold, obviously he had to go. He has had a suspect season defensively and I don't think he's registered an assist going forward yet this season in the Premier League, but he is still putting up the most shot-creating actions of any defender, any fullback that's English at the moment. I would still take him. I don't think I'd start him, but given that Reece James is out injured, it feels like a bit of a no-brainer. Now, Kieran Trippier, one of the first names on the squad list for me, having an exceptional season. Not only an unbelievable creator going forward, but also part of one of the best defences in the league right now. He has taken his game, it feels like, to new levels, but I think he has just been this exceptional for an awful long time. He's now just more of a leader in that Newcastle unit. He's also positive because he can play as an auxiliary left-back, as we saw at Euro 2020. I don't think he's going to start there because I think Luke Shaw, who is actually having surprisingly good season. Whisper it, people don't want to talk about it, but he's actually been good since coming back into the team and displacing Tyrell Malacia. I think those two are going to be the left backs. So you've got Trippier, Shaw, Walker and Trent, really. I think that's a pretty strong fullback lineup and I would have taken the same four. Let's move into the centre-backs then, where surprisingly low amount for a Gareth Southgate squad. You know, Gareth Southgate classically goes with 6 centre-backs. He's only gone with the 5 here. He's only gone with the 5, and one of them is Ben White, who is having the season of his life, absolutely deserves to be picked. I think the joint best defensive record alongside Newcastle, Arsenal he's part of 7 clean sheets in the Premier League. He has been outstanding and also offers you an option at right back. Worst comes to the worst at defensive midfield as well. Absolutely the right call to take Ben White. John Stones is also in there. Of course, he has to be. I know he's only started 7 games in the league this season, but probably our outstanding centre-back, really. You know, upwards of a 94% pass completion at Manchester City this season. A really good defender. I feel like he is kind of a nailed-on centre-back name on the team sheet, right? And the 3 others, they cause a bit of debate, don't they? Harry Maguire was always going to go. So let's not pretend that Southgate was ever at any stage going to leave him at home. He could not have played any minutes this season and would still have gone on the plane, as we see with one of the midfield selections in Calvin Phillips. So Maguire was always going to go. Personally, I actually don't have a massive issue with it. I know he's not been good for Manchester United this season, but he's always pretty good for England, and he's always way, way better in a back 3. It does just cover for nearly all of his deficiencies, so I don't really have a problem with taking him as one of the centre-backs. Eric Dier back into the fold, and I do think he's had a good season overall. Yes, he made the high-profile error against Liverpool on the weekend, and recently has been a little bit suspect, as of the whole Tottenham backline, to be honest with you. But I probably would have taken him too. I think there's a slight dearth of centre-back talent in England right now. Again, don't have a massive problem with Eric Dier going on the plane. And I definitely don't have a problem with Conor Coady. People at home will be going, Conor Coady, how's he made the squad? Absolutely ridiculous. No. Conor Coady, if you ask any of the England team, will tell you he is one of the most influential figures in the dressing room. In the Euro 2020 squad, I don't think he played a single minute, and yet the squad named him the most influential player. that pretty much sums up what he's like off the field. Not all of these 26 are going to play minutes, and Coady's not going to play any. I'd imagine Coady plays 0 minutes. But what he brings to the dressing room cannot be underestimated. He is so good off the field. He had to go for me. There is an omission, though, that I'm not happy with. Would have been in my central defensive lineup. I would have taken a 6th centre-back. I would have gone full Southgate. I think Tomori had to go. I know he's not had an exceptional season with AC Milan this year. I know a lot of people that watch Italian football actually say that Chris Smalling is having a better season than him. But, Serie A champion last year. I think his recovery pace would have been vital to this England backline. He would have started for me in my England 4-2-3-1. I think it's ridiculous he's not on the plane. I think if he wasn't playing in Serie A and he was playing the Premier League, he would definitely have been on the plane. And that irritates me. In midfield, we may as well crunch through the 2 obvious ones. Obviously, Rice and Bellingham are going to be the starters. They were the nailed-on players on the team sheet. Rice still putting up 4 tackles and interceptions per 90. And I'm just going to flash up right now Jude Bellingham's FB ref. Because, what is that? What is that? If this guy goes to Man City, I'm giving up watching football. Another of the nailed-on midfield names that had to go, of course, was Mason Mount. He's not having his best season this year in terms of output, but he is still an elite creator, amazing off the ball. I think it speaks volumes of his personality, character, and ability that every single manager that works with him starts him. Thomas Tuchel, Graham Potter, Gareth Southgate, Frank Lampard, they all start him. So I think that speaks volumes, and he was an obvious selection. Jordan Henderson, a little bit like Conor Coady, I think has probably gone more for his off-the-field experience and what he can add to the dressing room as a leader than what he's doing on the field right now. Not having his best season at Liverpool by some stretch. He actually has been poor, in my opinion. But, as I said earlier, not every player is going to get on the pitch. You need players that are vital to the squad off it, and I think Jordan Henderson's one of those. So I would also have taken Jordan Henderson. Calvin Phillips has also gone on there. Just 54 minutes of football this season, and most of them came last night, didn't it, in the League Cup. I think it's a big risk, given his fitness record, but it's probably a risk Gareth had to take. I didn't think he would be fit, so when I put out my squad yesterday, he wasn't in it. Apparently, he is fit enough to go, and we don't have enough defensive midfielders in the side right now. If Declan Rice gets injured, we don't take Calvin Phillips. We literally have no one. I was really struggling yesterday when I was trying to put my team and squad together for that role. If he is, 50% fit, I suppose it's kind of got to go. But I find real issue with a player who hasn't played in a year being on this plane. I find real issue with it. Let's move into the 2 relative surprise names then. I don't think James Maddison should have been a surprise. I've been campaigning for this for ages. I actually think I would start James Maddison first game against Iran, but you'll see more of my reasoning on that on Team Talk when it comes out. Look, he has been freakishly good since the start of last season. If you look at some of the players he's up against, Bukayo Saka, Mason Mount, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, in terms of creativity from English players, he's clear of them all right now. Now, that's not to say that, Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden, etc. wouldn't start because of Maddison, but I would probably start Maddison over Mount right now. I know Mount is extremely vital to how we want to play, but it wouldn't be a huge issue for me, put it that way. So yeah, Maddison absolutely had to go, and Gareth has made the right call there. The one surprising name I'm not sure about is Conor Gallagher. Sneaking into this midfield. I probably wouldn't have taken Gallagher and would have taken Fikayo Tomori. Very good season last year at Crystal Palace, or at least very good half of the season. First half was exceptional. Second half was a little bit slow. This season at Chelsea not really got going. 1 goal, 1 assist. Obviously, that goal was a screamer against Crystal Palace's former side as well. Not too sure what he offers because I don't feel like he's going to get minutes over, Mount or Maddison. And then I don't know what he offers in terms of leadership or experience off the field. So I'm unconvinced about that one. As I said, I would not have taken Gallagher, would have taken Tomori. In the forward line, some really obvious ones. Raheem Sterling, 7 goal involvements this season for Chelsea, not his best, but he's kind of playing out of position, doesn't really know his role there. It's a new club. For England, he is just exceptional. At Euro 2020 was our best player, so he had to go. Jack Grealish was still going to go, not having his best season again, but still in the Premier League, in the entire league, 4th for shot creating actions. He is still an extremely dangerous player. I would like to see him coming off the bench If we can't score a goal, Grealish come off the bench, great weapon. So he's got to go. Saka and Foden, obvious, nailed-ons. Probably our two most talented young players. Probably battling it out for one role right now, given that Sterling is likely to start. I would be tempted to start Saka and Foden with Kane through the middle, but they both had to go. And of course, I mentioned him there, Harry Kane, 11 goals this season in 14 games. If it wasn't for Haaland, we'd be going, wow, he is on smoke, Harry Kane. And it's perfect timing. You know, his form has been incredible this season. He's not yet injured, although Antonio Conte's comments about him being extremely tired yesterday worried me. But, you know, obviously, captain, he's going. And that left 2 spots. Marcus Rashford, absolutely the correct decision, in my opinion. I would 100% have taken him. 10 goal involvements this season in 13 starts for Manchester United offers something that none of these other players in our forward line offer, which is running in behind, running off the ball, extreme pace and power from a run. And I think he has just been so good for United this season. He's battled his way back in there. He's super confident right now. More power to him. And then Callum Wilson. And for me, this was an interesting one. This was a straight shootout between Callum Wilson and Toney. You don't need both of them because you've got Rashford who can play through the middle as well. So it's Callum Wilson or it's Ivan Toney. And I have to say, I came down on the side of Callum Wilson as well. I think Gareth Southgate has pretty much got this squad spot on. I think barring Tomori, which I would have had for Conor Gallagher, like I said earlier, I don't see any issue with any of the selections. I know that Wilson has been outscored this season by Ivan Toney, and Ivan Toney has this incredible penalty record. But there's something about the way Wilson links up for Newcastle, is so deadly inside the box. I think it's 7 in his last 8 in terms of goal involvements for the club. Super confident right now that I would side with him as well. I think Wilson was the right pick there. I actually think Gareth's got this 99% spot on this squad. I really do. Again, I would have taken Tomori. I wouldn't have taken Gallagher, but probably, you know, if James Ward-Prowse versus Calvin Phillips, if Calvin Phillips is fit enough to go, fair enough, that's the right decision. You know, I had James Ward-Prowse, I think, in my original one because I didn't think Calvin Phillips was going to be fit. Tammy Abraham hasn't had a good season this year. Mark Gurhey, not at the level of Fikayo Tomori, and he's not even been included in the squad, so I would have taken Fikayo Tomori ahead of him. Jarrod Bowen, sadly, I would have taken Marcus Rashford over him as well, and it's 24 goal involvements for West Ham since the start of last season, but I think Marcus Rashford is more explosive, more dynamic, having a better season, quite frankly. So I agree with pretty much all of Gareth's selections here, except for Fikayo Tomori. But what do you guys at home think? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you later. Bye.